thought I'd start this talk by telling you a story from World War II. Now, during World War II, there was this special unit. Now, appearance-wise, they looked like any other unit. They had their typical soldiers, typical military vehicles, tanks, jeeps, artillery. They sounded like one as people heard them as they moved throughout Europe. And they had radio men who sent out communications, Everyone thought they were a normal army unit. But there was something very different about this unit. Their tanks and vehicles were inflatable and made of rubber. The normal 30,000 size unit that was typical for the US Army, this one only had 1,100. Their radio messages were fake and intended to deceive, and the so-called sounds people heard as they passed by came from speakers mounted on trucks. They were called the Ghost Army, and their purpose was deceiving the German army and causing mayhem on the battlefield of Europe. Now, this deception was very useful in the war. It helped save lives and bring a quicker end in countless American victories. But there is a danger if we bring this deception into our lives today. There is a danger of becoming ghost Christians. On the outside, we look like a normal Christian. People see us. They see us go to church every Sunday. We participate in the worship services. To everyone else, we look like a Christian. But what does we say on the inside? What are we really like? What does our character say about us? Do we act differently around friends? Do we act differently at home? How do we act when we're not in a Christian environment and around other people of like faith? Abraham Lincoln said, "Character is like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing." While people may judge us based on our appearance and how we act, God will judge us based on our character. In 1 Samuel chapter 9, verses 1 through 2, it talks about Saul and how he's going to be chosen to be the next king of Israel. And it says, "There was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zerah, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiath, the son of a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a choice and handsome son, whose name was Saul. There was not a more handsome person than he among the children of Israel. From his shoulders upward, he was taller than any of the people." So Saul was described as being a handsome man. He looked powerful. He looked mighty. To the children of Israel, he looked like a king. And he acted like a good man, at least shortly after his reign. But his character would soon reveal bad things about him. We see soon after in 1 Samuel chapter 13, Saul's unlawful sacrifice and the countless sins he committed afterwards, his unfaithfulness to God. While on the outside Saul appeared as a good man, his character was vastly different. He was an unfaithful, ungodly, selfish man. But as it goes on in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7, we see that a new man is chosen to be king, one described as being after God's own heart. So in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7, it says, the Lord says to Samuel, "Do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." God chose David to be the next king of Israel because he was faithful, he was strong in the faith, he was a good man, and possessed a good character. God chose Saul because he was what the people thought a king would be. He looked like a king, but he didn't act like one. But God chose David because he would be faithful and had a good character. And yes, David did make mistakes through his life, but all of us do, but he repented of those mistakes, made recompense for his sins, and was a faithful man throughout his life. When we go before God on Judgment Day, we will not be judged by how we look and how others perceive us. We will be judged by how we really act, what our character says about us. We need to not only act like a Christian, but be a Christian. We need to be a Christian in our daily lives, even when no one is around. We need to be like a Christian, to where when people see us, they can say, that person is a Christian. They'll recognize that we indeed are a Christian. If you're struggling with your Christian character and need the help of the church or want to change your character and dedicate your life to Christ, then come forward as we stand and sing.